Yo, what's up, guys? Thank you for dropping back in. We're just going to talk a little bit about the old Adidas PRIMEX today. So we have about 50 miles in the shoe now, maybe like a little bit more. I've done a variety of different runs. I've done a long run in them. I've done some tempo work in them. I've done some shorter stuff, some snappier stuff, some speedier stuff. And I've done some easy running in them as well. Given the fact that there was a little bit of controversy over the weekend around this shoe, I wanted to just get this video out here. I'm recording in my kitchen today, so apologies for the blurred background and if the video quality is not quite so good. I apologize for that. And also, there isn't any footage of me running, but I will get a video of that very shortly. Unfortunately, I got struck by the old virus that's kicking around. So the last sort of 10, 11, 12 days have been pretty rough, and I'm just kind of getting back into it. So I'll try and make it through this without breaking up too much. But yeah, I appreciate your patience and your support. Thank you so much to the people who have subscribed since the last video. Very much appreciate it. We'll try and keep these kind of coming on a semi-regular basis. And if you have any requests on anything that you would like me to review, please let me know, and I will do my very best to pick up a pair of those kicks and get that done for you. Let's get onto the shoes. So we'll start with the ride. With the 50 mil stack of Lightstrike Pro foam in these shoes, as you might expect, the ride is lush. It is lush. It is plush. It is both, and it is all of the above. Trying to rhyme there, didn't work out. But yeah, this is a very, very forgiving ride. And it's nowhere near as firm as the Adidas Adizero 1 or 2. Even with the additional carbon that you have running through there. This provides primarily to stabilize the shoe, in my experience. You don't get that kind of super snappy, responsive toe off like you would get from the Adidas Adizero 1 or 2. But primarily in this shoe, that carbon is to stabilize the Lightstrike Pro, or at least that's how it feels to me. It allows you to roll through your stride in a very kind of smooth and natural motion, but it isn't quite as propulsive a feeling as one of the aforementioned Adizero Adidas's, or Adidas Pros, I should say, or like a Nike Alphafly, for example, which you really feel that pop in the toe. In my view, this isn't quite the aggressive spring type feeling that you get in an Alphafly. I don't think this is anywhere near as an aggressive kind of springy, or you'll have heard people describe the Alphafly almost like having a trampoline type effect, and this is not that. So on a longer run at tempo, that feels absolutely phenomenal. You are just able to kind of almost let your legs go and cruise. Because of the high stack, I would say that be wary of any kind of camber in the road or the pavement or whatever you're running on. Similarly, if you're gonna be rolling or cruising pretty quickly in these, just take off a little bit going around the corner. You can still, because that continental grip is really, really good, as we know, and the forefoot is plenty wide. You can plant your foot and get around the corner relatively quickly. But if you are more of a heel to rear midfoot striker, then I would say definitely knock off the pace if you're going to go around any corners. For long kind of tempo efforts, this is a phenomenal trainer, and it is a trainer. That is primarily what Adidas have designed this for. I think people are starting to maybe get a little bit twisted and be like, oh, okay. So if we take the foam that's in an Adidas Adizero 2 and we Pro, and we know that that is a really good foam, and we add a little bit more on there, and we add a little bit more carbon in there, we're going to have a really, really fast racing shoe. Now, I don't think that is necessarily the case. When Kipchoge broke 2 in the Ineos 159 event, we think he had more than the foam, and it certainly looked like he had more foam than what came out in the production Alphafly, which is a road legal racer. And it's believed that there were more than one carbon plate. Again, not an issue because it was, I guess, kind of concept type event. They wanted to see whether it was possible, and he did it. No human is limited. Shout out to Kipchoge, the best of all time. So yeah, Adidas designed this to be a high concept training shoe. They wanted to push the boundaries of what, I guess, shoe design could be. And I think they absolutely have nailed it. This would be a fantastic marathon training shoe because your legs are not going to get beat up just due to the sheer amount of foam volume in it. You're going to be able to transition through paces. So if you are in a heavy marathon block and you're doing your marathon pace long run, or you're doing a run that's broken up with marathon pace efforts in it, I think this is a fantastic shoe for you. What I don't think is necessarily a good thing, and that I could see potentially catching on, is people getting kind of addicted to the feeling of running in a shoe with that much stack that makes running feel relatively easy. Why would I wear anything else? But the reality is you need to be mixing up the shoes that you're training in. It's not good to be training in just one type of shoe all of the time. It's not good to be training in carbon just all of the time, which I think has become a bit of a trend. You need to let your muscles develop on their own to really get the benefit out. Whereas if you just become reliant upon the shoe technology, when you take that away and you go back to like an everyday trainer or a traditional racing flat, you're really going to struggle. You're going to feel like you're not that great of a runner. It doesn't matter necessarily how many miles you put in. Your physiology potentially will have changed and adapted. It only makes sense. Okay, so I did a 5K tempo workout in these. It was on like a bit of a lumpy little course with some mixed terrain. There was a cobblestone kind of downhill, an old slip ramp, which was very, very interesting. As you can imagine, these are not the most stable. At absolutely every pace, these were nailed on from warm up all the way through to kind of 5K race pace. And then I finished a little bit quicker as well. So would I take this over the Alphafly? I would not. Would I take this over the Adidas Adizero Pro 2? I would not. Would I take this over the Vaporfly Next Percent? Nope, I would not. That's not a slight on this shoe, but that again is not what this shoe is meant to be for. And similarly, I'll chuck in the New Balance Fuel Cell RC Elite 2. The Saucony Endorphin Pros, no, I would take those over this. But yeah, this is not what that shoe is meant to be. Okay, so I talked a lot about the shoe. Hopefully that's been interesting. Hopefully that's been of benefit to you if you're thinking about buying the shoe. I think they sold out pretty quickly in the first drop, but I think there are still some available in this latest colorway. What I would say is that these shoes are illegal. They are banned for racing under World Athletics rules because the stack height is too high. The stack limit is 40 mils, I believe. This is a 50 mil stack shoe. You might have already seen this, but at the Vienna City Marathon on Sunday, Leonard Langat was disqualified for wearing PRIMEX in competition. He has a 2:05, I believe, personal best. I think that's what I read on Sunday, so it was a couple of days ago. Please don't quote me on that. But he ran 2:09, won the race, despite the fact that you would think that someone maybe would do like a little bit of a brief inspection on the start line, didn't happen. So he ran the race in the shoe, bib number 13, won it, and then got disqualified. At the technical meeting the day before, he presented a different shoe. He just got mixed up. I don't think you're gaining any competitive advantage racing this over the Adidas Pro 2. I definitely don't. I think that is a more responsive and quicker shoe. Yeah, I just hope that these conversations don't distract from the actual running and the actual events themselves. That would be the worst part. I don't want to start seeing people get disqualified, and I don't think it will happen, but if it's happened to an elite runner at one of the biggest marathons in the world, then who knows? Thank you so much for watching this. I hope it's been informative. I hope you've enjoyed it.